All right, friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Tuesday, the 19th of November, 2019. I'm very excited about the day, okay? Very excited about the energy that's going on right now. The hard stuff is seemingly over, all right? The hard stuff is over. You know, the moon in Cancer the past couple of days was really intense. The transition from the moon moving into Leo was a nice burst, but it was like the lion getting out of the water and shaking it off. You know, that was like the lion was still damp, full of that, saturated weight, okay? The emotional weight. And it took Monday to shake it off like a dog. Try it. Shake it off like a dog and get ourselves back in alignment with ourselves, right? So speaking of alignment, a lot of things are coming into an alignment today. All right, the moon is going to create a perfect trine to the sun. Excuse me. That's not true at all. The moon is going to create a perfect trine to Venus and to Jupiter today, okay? The septile that I've been talking about for the past few days is exact today between Venus and Mars. Septiles are 51 degrees. All right, so that is exact today. And the very exciting Mars is moving to its home sign of Scorpio. Okay, Mars is technically in detriment in the sign of Libra. Usually the sign that's opposite of its home. So the personal planets all rule two different signs, right? So Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, right? So the cool thing, Venus, Taurus, my things, my possessions. Okay, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And then the other side is other people, So it's like, I love my things, I love this, I love that, and Taurus, right? Uranus is over there shaking things up, saying, why do you love this? Why do you think you need this? Why do you think you need cigarettes? Why do you think you need alcohol? Why do you think you need this physical object? Why do you think you need this kind of a car to impress people that, whatever it is, you know what I mean? We're letting go of those personal things. And then the other side is Venus. It's other people. Why do I love these other people? But Mars has been taking acceleration, saying yes to other people. Yes, I've got to, it's like Mars is like, yeah, I'll be, yeah, I guess I'll look at it your way. Yeah, I guess I'm going to, I guess I'll see it your way. I guess I'm going to put my, business to the side so we can work on each other's. It's in detriment. It's in the opposite sign because Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Right? So in Aries, it's about me, myself, and my personal journey of always going toward the light, going toward what's good. And then if this is bad, why am I going to stick around? If you're sitting here firing bullets at me, I'm going to just step out of the way. And now those bullets can be verbal. They can, verbal attacking kind of bullets. They can be emotional. They can be physical. Right? So it's just like, well, just step out of the way. Very simple, in that Aries kind of aspect. Very simple. So Mars rules Scorpio too. I love it. My mentor, Rick Levine, love that guy. He always says, and this isn't saying like if you're an Aries or a Scorpio, but this is his expression and I love it and I'm sharing it with you today. He says, if the Aries and the Scorpio get into a fight, the Aries better knock the Scorpio out in the first hit, because the Scorpio has persistence that the Aries does not. Again, that's not saying go fight, an Aries, go fight your Scorpio friend and see who wins. That's not what we're saying here. But Aries is the initiation, the spark of the match. It is a cardinal sign, which means it's very, very strong. But it's there to light the fire, not keep it going. That's Leo's job, okay? Where the moon is right now. The moon's in Leo, keeping that fire going. Right? Like, yeah, I can do this. Man, I was like, this was heavy the past couple days, but look at me now. Look at me now, So Mars in Scorpio is persistent, and it's not saying, yeah, other people. If you look at a comedian, comedians, there's a rule. If one thing is funny, everything is funny. You know, if one thing can be made fun of, everything can be made fun of. There's nothing that's off limits in the sense of comedy. You know what I mean? And that can certainly offend people. But that's what, you know, makes things humorous. Not in offending people, but like getting the other perspective and like being strongly opinionated. Right? Anyway, so you know, if the comedian had the Mars in Libra, it's always going to be thinking, well, I don't want to offend the person in the audience. I don't want to do this. You know, the people like the Daniel Tosches and Anthony Jeselniks, and you know, I mean, they just would not. They couldn't be as blunt and abrasive in their comedy as they are, because they'd always be worried about offending somebody, and they do not care about offending someone. Now, we're not saying go pick fights and try to offend people. What we're saying is when Mars is in Libra, we're considering the other people a lot. We're considering their emotions. We're considering their perspective. We're focused on our relationships. We're focused on the building blocks. But it's also a weaker place for Mars to be. Mars coming home in Scorpio is here to clean house, okay? So the last couple of days, the sun's going to be in Scorpio. The Mercury retrograde is almost over. Again, the heavy stuff is behind us. That water trine, that was the heavy part of this retrograde, okay? Because now it's like what? We come in to an alignment, this Leo energy saying, yes, I can. If I can get through that crap, I can get through anything, right? If I can get through this, you know, whatever, I'll change the tire in the middle of a snowstorm and the pouring down rain, whatever it is. You know, we can get through that. We can get through anything. And now it's just like we have that fire, you know, the fire of the sun at our hearts. Keep on shining, right? The retrograde's going to end. The sun is about to leave Scorpio. So we're not done with our shadow period yet, because Mars is just getting started, and Mars takes about 2 months to go through a sign. So Mars is going to be in Scorpio for a while, continuing the shadow work. But he's at home cleaning house. Okay, it's very important to recognize that. Like Mercury, yeah, Mercury can go in Scorpio. Mercury's the one that has, you know, going back to the mythology, you know, King Jupiter says, I don't have jurisdiction in the underworld. Mercury, the Gemini twins, you know, that's your job. You go down there, you strike a deal with Hades, you strike a deal with Pluto, the king of the underworld, and get our Persephone back to us, right? So Mercury can be there, but it's just not Mercury's favorite place to be. Mercury, you know, here's a fun thing too. Mercury rules 2 mutable signs, Gemini and Virgo. These are both mutable signs. Now, if you look at Venus, or excuse me, let's look at Mars right now. Mars rules Aries, cardinal sign, and Scorpio, fixed sign. Venus rules what? Taurus, fixed sign, Libra, cardinal sign, okay? They're stuck. The fixed signs are stuck. They are fixated. Fixed signs, you know, cardinal is like hinge. It's keeping the structure and new things coming in, you know, it takes over the mutable sign, the stronger energy. So it's just like the end of spring, summer comes, and then when the end of summer, you know, then Leo keeps the fire energy going as Cancer initiates it. Then Virgo season is the end of summer, easily taken over by the stronger Libra, okay? Fall is coming. So Mercury rules 2 fixed signs, Mercury rules 2 mutable signs, okay, which adapt to change. That's the key of what I'm talking about here, is that it adapts to change. So Mercury being stuck in a fixed sign for as long as it is, in a place where it has jurisdiction but doesn't love to be, you know, we've found conflict with ourselves. We're digging up stuff from the past, revisiting things. A lot is going on that we want to kind of run from, or like, oh my God, this is heavy. This is becoming a lot. And now that seems to lighten up a bit. And again, so it's like the moon being in Leo today, okay, and I'm going to go to the chart now. The moon in Leo Okay, now this is early in the morning. Look, if you come here on the left here, this is 3 a.m. because I'm showing you when Mars enters. Okay, so 3 a.m. on Tuesday the 19th, Mars enters Scorpio. And just a couple hours later, let's do this. A couple hours later, we see that trine at 6 a.m. when some of us are getting up and getting going. All right, so it's just like our emotions and what we want and desire with what we need. Okay, what we need here in the fixed sign of Leo, we're persistent. We're staying persistent today at what we need. Now look here, the moon's going to square the sun over here in Scorpio. Okay, what we need, we got to stay persistent at doing the shadow work. Okay, we're not out just yet. It will be in a couple days, but not quite yet. So when we stay persistent at doing this shadow work, moving ahead a couple hours, okay, now this is the last couple of weeks that Jupiter here, King Jupiter, is going to be in his home turf of Sagittarius before he has an extremely important meeting coming up next year with these fellas. All right, very important meeting, very big year. 2020 is going to be a very big year, but we're still in 2019. So, the moon here lining up, so it's like whatever we want, love, and desire comes in with our faith and higher knowledge, our ability to expand, saying, oh my God, thank goodness for this persistence that I've been able to have, as difficult as it has been. How glorious. To stay unconditional, to love unconditionally through all of this, to be thankful for all of our trials and tribulations, the traumas, the pain that we've experienced that has led us to being the amazing individuals that we are, right? Very, very, very important. And look, Tuesday, you see this S right there. What does that mean? That means Mercury's stationed direct. That means it's done moving backward, right? The retrograde is technically, it's coming to a stop. I'm not saying it's over. It's coming to a standstill. That's what the S means, okay? And on Thursday, it's direct, okay? So Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to have this little S here. On Thursday, boom, Mercury is direct, moving forward again, and then leaving its shadow period, which is going to be the 27th degree of Scorpio on December 9th. So it's important to also notice here, Venus has been through here. Venus has hit the 27th and 28th degree. The sun is now visiting where this retrograde started, okay? Super, super important today. The sun is visiting where we started the retrograde at, okay? Can we look back at ourselves? Can we look back at our lives and say, where were we 3 weeks ago? How much has changed? How much has been brought up? Have we cleaned the house? Have we, internal work, that internal shadow work? Have we been cleaning house? Have we been dealing with this? Have we been looking in the mirror and not looking away? Have we been taking a long look at ourselves and seeing our shadow and seeing the places where we have undoubtedly been the villain when we thought we were the hero the whole time? So important right now, because now Mars being home, cleaning it up, right? Mars gets to visit this home once every 2 years. So this is big. This is really big, a way to end the year, right? Because Mars is going to be there for the rest. So the sun is revisiting that spot. And then come Wednesday, what's going to happen? I don't want to get too much into it, but we're moving on to that new territory. Only Venus has been there so far, right? Out of all the personal planets, only Venus has been there thus far. Mercury hasn't been to 28 degrees yet. Mars will not be at 28 degrees for quite some time. So it's like we're stepping into this new, familiar, but new territory. It's like we have a brand new perspective as we get up and go into the world. Like, yeah, I can do this. Whatever's going on, there's been a shift that's happening. And then leading into Wednesday and Thursday, what? Is Virgo. We become more focused as the moon goes into Virgo. We'll talk about that obviously more then. But this is exciting. Like, if you can't see my enthusiasm and joy, like, let it play in, because it's great. This is great energy, good time to get focused, good time to get excited about what's going on. It's a good time to reflect, and I love this. This came up today, and it's just like the tadpole. All right, the tadpole, swimming near the shoreline, drinking up the sun, has no clue what it's going to turn into. It's unfathomable what that tadpole is going to turn into this beautiful frog. From this limited, stuck here at the shore, little tadpole, to becoming this frog that's going to be able to leap onto land, to leap over things, to cross those boundaries and just boom, to go from this limited water to I can get where I need to on land. Okay? So we're at that point right now where we just are the tadpole, where we just see ourselves as the tadpole, and we don't know how good it's going to get. Okay? We still have, I'm going to come back here for a second, we still have 16 degrees. They're only just today, they're getting 1 degree apart. That's sextile, but it's still playing. This is still very important. You can see our grand water trine is still there, okay, but that sextile is no longer there. Once Mercury moves ahead and Mars moves ahead, we're going to get those back, but that grand emotional water trine is over. We needed to feel every ounce of this. We needed to feel every bit of this weight. All of this emotion was very, very necessary for our expansion. And now what do we have here, right? Look at this other trine. So we see this one trine here. Boop, boop, boop. We've been talking about that one for quite some time. We hopefully we get that right now. Okay, this has to deal with our own personal emotional expansion, being caring and diplomatic for other people. But now we have, and this only is going to be for a couple of hours, but still, it's really beautiful. It's going to be the moon in a weird trine over here to Taurus. Okay, emotionally what we need, we have the courage to break through, like the Kool-Aid man busting through the door, changing things. We don't need to go back to our old habits. We don't need to go back to, the medication, whatever that medication was, even if it was, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to tell you to, you know what I'm saying here. If we're self-medicating through booze, if we're self-medicating through drugs or substances, or again, these other physical things, needing to go out into the world, and, we are strongly being able to break this with new knowledge. Okay, Jupiter up here. And now the funny thing is this is fire. This is fire. This is earth. Okay, this trine here, it's a glimpse into the future, okay? Because really, the trine's going to intensify next month, okay? Next time the moon comes around here and Jupiter is even more ahead and it enters the earth sign of Capricorn, that's when this trine, Earth, Virgo, Earth, is going to become solidified, okay? So when we're in the fire sign right now, we're forging our weapons. We're forging the tools, not our weapons. Let me rephrase that. We're forging our tools. Okay? Very necessary. Forging our tools. And great release. Because then what's going to happen is it's going to solidify our tools. Okay? And then we get to go out into the world and use them. So this is a good glimpse into the future of what's going to happen, and a good spark of that fire energy to get us going, that passion, that drive. Again, it doesn't matter if you've had a good day, a bad day, if you're drunk and hungover, if, whatever's going on, the sun's not saying, well, I'm going to dim my light. It doesn't matter if we've had World War 17. It's not judging us. The sun's not judging us and saying, I'm gonna burn a little less bright today for humanity because I've been disappointed. I'm disappointed in you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not what happens. That's not what the sun's job is. The sun's job is to be consistent, persistent, constant ball of fire, unconditionally giving its light and love to humanity. And that's where our caring, nurturing moon is. Earth's natural satellite, and the fire, you know, the hearth that keeps on burning. Good day. Good day. A lot of fixed energy, getting through it, all right? Have an amazing day. I'm going to actually hit stop this time. All right. We will see you tomorrow.